Every month, the Toronto Real Estate Board puts out a report called Market Watch. What Market Watch is it is a collection of data that tells you what's going on with the market. In today's video, we are going to take a look at what is going on with semi-detached homes in Oakville. Is it a buyer's market? If you're following the real estate market carefully, you know that it is a buyer's market, but should you buy a semi-detached now? Should you wait longer? Are semi-detached homes going to decline in value? If you buy a semi-detached now, are you overpaying or are you paying the right price for it? So we're going to get into it. So sit back and check out what we're going to tackle in this video. So again, the Market Watch report is a pretty comprehensive report and it can be overwhelming to a lot of people. So we're going to look at specific areas of this report as we comb through the data here. So it's important to note that this report is for November 2025. And this little graph here shows us something important. This is sales activity for November 2024, and this is sales activity for November 2025. We can see a decline year over year from 2024 to 2025. So this bar graph is higher, this bar graph is lower. That means that the sales activity has decreased year over year across the board in November. So this is important. And again, this is kind of across the entire Toronto Real Estate Board, encompassing Oakville, Mississauga, everything. So this gives you a snapshot that sales activity is decreased. Now, this is another important bar graph here. This shows us the average price. This is November 2024, and this is November 2025. And we see a decrease as well. So that means that the sale price, the price of homes, have declined from November 2024 to November 2025, and the actual sales activity has declined as well. So there are less homes selling in November 2025 compared to November 2024. And with fewer homes selling, the prices have gone down as well. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at semi-detached homes because that's what we're covering in this video. Some people like the idea of semi-detached, some people don't. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own opinion. But we're going to tackle semi-detached and see what data we can find that helps you. So here we've got semi-detached in November of 2025. This report shows us that in Oakville here, there were 4 semi-detached sales in November 2025, so not a lot. This shows us the dollar volume, so the total value of all of the purchases here, it was 4.144 million. So 4,144,000. That was the dollar volume. We have the average price. This is very important. So remember this, write this down, log this in your memory banks. 1,036,000 was the average price of a semi-detached sale in November 2025. Very important number right here. So again, remember 1,036,000. Over here, we have the median price. So median price, for those that can't remember their elementary school math, median price is the price in the middle of the data set. So this is smack dab in the middle. So 1,084,500 is the median price. Here we've got new listings. 9 came on in November and 24 active listings. And that's really what we want to take a look at. And then here finally, 47 days on market, which is relevant as well. So coming back to this data here with regard to semi-detached in Oakville, we want to focus on this number here, 1,036,000. So that tells us that that's the average price of what a semi-detached is selling for. So now, if we know that we're in a buyer's market, at least that's what we've been told, and that's what we keep on hearing in all these real estate videos. If we're in a buyer's market, then shouldn't we be looking for a deal? Absolutely, we should be looking for a deal. So let's look to see, are there any deals for semi-detached homes in Oakville, given this price of 1,036,000 is the average price? But before we start looking at deals, let's just set the record straight. Would a deal be something under 1,036,000 as the average price, or would a deal be something 1,036,000 over this price? Well, again, if we're in a buyer's market, you would want to look at something that's under 1,036,000 as the average price point. At least that's my opinion to buyers who are navigating the real estate market right now in Oakville and who may be looking at semi-detached homes. So let's take a look at the semi-detached homes that are currently for sale in Oakville. This is a snapshot here of all semi-detached homes. You can see the map right over here, and there are now 20 semi-detached homes that are available. Now, when we take a look at pricing, we've got 849,000 here for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, all the way to 1.798 million for a 3-bedroom, 4-bathroom, semi-detached home. So that's quite a range, as you can see, 849,000 all the way to 1.798 million. Now, for somebody who's looking for a value purchase, you're probably focusing in on these semi-detached homes right here, the lowest priced ones. That's what I would do as well. And that's what I am advising buyers now that are looking for semi-detached homes. We are looking at the lowest price semi-detached homes because that's where there's going to be the greatest uplift in the future when the market recovers, when the market becomes more balanced, when we get into more of a normal market. The homes that are purchased for the least amount will have the most amount of built-in equity, so they'll see the most uplift in the price. For homes that are purchased, say, over the average price of a semi-detached home, and remember, the average price, if we go back to our chart, was, and did we lose it here? Nope, 1,036,000. So if we're just going by the data, if we're just going by the numbers, logic would then tell us that any homes that are purchased for above that 1,036,000 range, there's less of a chance that there will be built-in equity into those homes. So taking a look here, I would do the cutoff over here. So these semi-detached homes on Shady Glen for $999 over here. And then we've got one on Palatine, one over here. There's about 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semi-detached homes. I would leave it at that. So this is where the value is, because as you can see, after you go past this 6 semi-detached home, you get into 1,049,000, 1,049,000, 1,049,000, again 1,049,000. Everybody's listening at the same price, 1,099,000. So it's not to say that these are not good homes. I'm not saying that, absolutely not. What I'm saying is that it's a buyer's market. Buyers have to be smart. Buyers have to look at the data, and buyers need to be making a smart, educated purchase in this market where they've got the greatest upside. And the greatest upside comes from these lower priced semi-detached homes. Now, let's take a look at this one, for example. Napier, 32 Napier, 4-bed, 2-bath, listed for $849. Let's take a quick gander at the interior. So we can see, potentially needs a paint job, neutral tones. This can be painted white just to modernize it. So definitely needs paint to make it more modern. Somebody could change the cabinets here. So this needs modernization. It's livable, right? But in today's standards, people are looking for more neutral tones, more of an update. But the actual property itself, washroom's not bad, carpets over here, so it definitely needs a refresh, definitely needs an update, this home here. Carpets again. But when we look at what the average price is for semi-detached, again, if you remember, the average price is $1,036,000. Well, this one is listed for $849,000. So this is a prime example of a home that I would recommend to one of our clients that are looking at semi-detached homes. And in fact, we do recommend these homes that are listed for similar prices because it's well below the average sale price of a semi-detached home. So when you're looking for property in this market that we're in right now, it's a buyer's market. You need to be smart as you're navigating the market. You want to make a purchase where you have built-in equity, and that you're not overpaying. You're not paying too much for a home in a buyer's market. Semi-detached homes are a property type that not everybody likes, but the people that do like them, if you are looking, it's important that you get a deal in this market.